fresh out the sneaker battle. Here for episode 29 of Shorty Sneaker Conversations. Alright, so we're going to try to get our guest. Hopefully we can get our guest sooner rather than later. Trouble in the 2-1. What is up?
What's up? What's up?
Great to have you on Shorty Sneaker Conversations, Nerd Star 101. Oh man, how you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. Man. Thank you for having me. Like I'm excited. I'm excited for what this conversation can be and probably will be. It's gonna be a good time.
Absolutely. So before we, get started with sneakers and thrifting and other cool stuff that we both like,
Oh yeah.
the most positive thing is that you took from 2020.
Ooh, most positive thing. Slow down. And guess what? The world will keep going.
Okay.
That was the best thing I took. I got to sit down all the way down. For like the first time probably since like college. Because I'm always just on the go. Like now the world's back opening up and I'm back to like on the go. I'm in Dallas this coming weekend, DC the next weekend. And like not having the ability to do that at first was suffocating, but then I found so much joy in the things that I actually like could do now that I was just sitting down. So like my wardrobe room really came because I was just sitting down, and didn't really have too much to do. So yeah, I picked up like art and things like that because I was finally sitting down and I could. So I think that was my positive takeaway from last year. What about you?
To accept change. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and my wife and I and our son, we relocated to North Carolina, and I'm not good with change. I didn't want to come. I didn't want to leave. For kids in Cleveland, I know everybody I feel like there is to know there, and I didn't want to come, but really accepting change and accepting new things because now I have a job and things that I wouldn't have if I were there. So
That's real.
so it's not been easy, but it's good. I do want to shout out everybody that's joined. What's up, Sneaker Vibes Only? What's up, Calvin Guala? Everybody else, you know what I'm saying? What's going on? Now, if you could tell us a little bit about yourself, I know where you're from, but tell people where you're from.
Oh, for sure, for sure. Even though I am currently living in Detroit, I've been in Detroit for the past 6 years. I am originally from Charlotte, North Carolina. So born and raised. I went to A&T, so not too far from Charlotte for undergrad. Ended up in Cincinnati for a few years, and now I'm in Detroit, and absolutely love Detroit. As far as like I guess my regular like 9 to 5, what I do, I'm a software developer. So I absolutely love computers as much as I love sneakers, which is a very expensive thing to love both of those things together. But it's a good time. So I love computers. I do a lot around computers and include teaching kids how to use computers, how to program. I actually worked for StockX just for a little bit. I don't work for them anymore. It's the only reason I'm saying it now. But I worked for them for a little bit on their app and stuff like that. Sneakers app is trash. I'll forever say that. It could be so much better. But yeah, that's just me. I'm in Detroit now, loving it here, enjoying the blackest city in America. It's a good time.
You feel like Detroit is the blackest city in America?
No,
More than
Detroit. No, number wise, Detroit is the blackest city in America.
really?
Yeah, it's 70. Yeah, it's like 76-80% black. It's Detroit, and then it's Gary, Indiana, I think, or something like that. and then it may be something else, and then like Atlanta's like 56 or something like that. But yeah, nah, Detroit is. Oh, DC, DC is in that mix. Thank you very much. But yeah, nah, Detroit is the numbers. Detroit is the blackest city in America.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to Twin Mother. Shout out to QC Kick Cutie. Thanks to everybody for joining. Um,
What up,
so,
y'all?
all right. Before we go any further, I do have to ask what you, because I've been at work and I just got out of a sneaker battle, so I haven't really checked to see not one, what you wore today. What would you
Okay.
break out?
I threw on the statics real quick. Hold on, I'll let me flip the camera. So I threw on the statics, quick, comfy. Like it's always a good go-to for me, at least the 350s. So I threw on the statics, threw on some Adidas biker shorts, and then I love vintage stuff. I love thrifting. So this Snoop Dogg shirt I picked up not too long ago. I think I picked this up while I was in Chicago thrifting. But yeah, so just something slight. I work from home. So like I get dressed because I want to, not because I have to. Like I could easily stay in pajamas, but I enjoy getting dressed for the most part. So I'll definitely always throw a fit on.
Yeah, that was one that helped me keep my. I ain't gonna say I was going crazy, but during the pandemic, it was kind of what made me keep things regular because I knew I wasn't where my job wasn't open, but I was still getting dressed and posting fits every day because it was the only bit of normalcy I had. I mean,
Yeah,
so you know,
I love your pictures. I always love every morning. Like I definitely be paying attention to what you pull out and stuff. Like I love it, man. I love the pictures.
thank you for those wondering. I broke out these old pro leather
Ooh,
old. These are from 2000, but they made them look old on purpose. One of Larry Bird's first shoes. I hate the
nice with
Celtics.
the jersey to match.
Yeah, yeah. I hate the Celtics, but I own this jersey. I lost a bet, so hopefully I don't lose another one tonight on the finals. So,
Who
um,
you got? Wait, who you got then? Let's talk about it for a second. Who you got?
and at the start of it, I was a little salty with the Suns because they eliminated the Lakers, but
Okay.
I don't know. Milwaukee has the momentum right now, and I feel like the Suns actually play better without Chris Paul. They play faster, more dynamic um, ball. So that's kind of tough for me to say because I would like for him to win, but that's just me.
So in order for Chris Paul to get his ring, he may need to sit down. Wow.
Or just I don't know. Like he just slows them down so much.
I don't think he can go faster. He's up there, man. This gotta be 16th, 17th.
Yeah,
Like he's definitely up there. So I don't think he's gonna get faster. Yeah, I definitely honestly, even before like realizing that, like I really thought the Suns just had this in the back. Like I thought this was gonna be a cakewalk. Like I really did. I was like Giannis and the rest of them are not gonna put together what Devin Booker and them are, but like the game 3 was definitely like 20 points is a defining win, and then a close win is even a defining win. And now they definitely are riding that wave, and it's theirs to lose now, which is crazy. Like Milwaukee Bucks next champions, like what?
yeah. For the first time since career,
Right. What?
neither of us was bored yet. So I don't know. I mean, with Aiton, I mean, you could just, I mean, with the people that the Suns have, you could just pick and roll, Milwaukee to death. If you stop Giannis from driving, he's a different player.
Yeah,
Uh,
facts.
Suns don't really do help defense like they could. They did it with the Lakers, but they just stopped doing it with Phoenix. So, I mean, with Milwaukee. So I don't know, but I really think Milwaukee's gonna take it today. So
Yeah. Dang, that's close out. I'm a definitely watch.
you know, okay. Well, let's go back to some sneaker origins, and let's start with your earliest sneaker moment or memory. What was the first real thing you remember about sneakers when you were young?
Bet. So, my first sneaker where I was like, holy crap, like I love sneakers. I understand everything now about them was the playoff Jordan 13s that dropped back in 90, was it 97 or 98?
90.
That was like that was one of my first pair of Jordans, and I actually got them on accident. my grandma was like, hey, like, I'm gonna take you to the store, you can pick out some shoes. And my stepdad and my brother at the time, my little brother at the time, had on like some Team Jordans. Like, I knew not that, like, this, I'm in third grade then, so I didn't know that much about kicks to be like, okay, Team Jordans, or her, however people feel about them, right? So I was like, I really actually wanted their shoes, but they just weren't in stock in my size. And we went to three different stores. And my grandma was being like super, super generous that day. Like, I didn't get another pair of Jordans until I got like the all white Jordan 13s actually when I was in like 11th grade in high school. Um,
Oh,
so yeah, so it was definitely like, a privilege and stuff to even be able to cop those then. Um, so yeah, like I ran into him. I was like, all right. She's like, if we don't get nothing here, just pick something else. So they had these other Jordans, and I was like, all right, I guess I'll get those. So I grabbed them or whatever. It was definitely like, I mean, it was playoffs time, so it's definitely around playoff time. It's all about doubles then. And so I was like sitting down watching games with my stepdad, watching games with my grandfather. I grew up around basketball. My great grandmother, she had tickets to the Charlotte Hornets since their inauguration season in 1988.
whew.
So yeah, so I was going to games I was born in 89, and so by 90 at 1 I was going to games with her. And so like I grew up around basketball was like it's all UNC. You in North Carolina now, so it's all UNC Duke. And Charlotte Hornets had just got their team. They were trying to do their thing. Like the Dale Currys, the Lonzo Mornings, the Larry Johnsons, like the early on. So it was definitely a good time. But yeah, no, back to sneakers. I got these pair of Jordan 13s, and I remember like, all right, they're clean. My mom was like, you can't play in these, and I'm like, ooh, I can't play in these. Like she never really said that to me before. Like, all right, can't play in these, cool. So I got my outfit ready. Like I'm ready for school. You know how you do, lay your outfit out. Shoes, sneaker box was like right underneath my bed, ready for me to like pull out and go. Um, and so like I went to school the next day, and it was just like, oh, Brittany got the Jordan. Like it was just like every place I was, like if I was outside when I couldn't play that day because I had on these sneakers, but if I was outside, if I was like in class, like kids were like looking under our desk and our tables to like look at my sneakers, and I'm sitting here like, oh shit, like wait a minute, like I already liked them, but now of course I'm a kid, I'm like I love them now, like look what it's doing. And for me, anything that I like or I love, I get really really into. And sneakers, computers, like all that is no different. So like I was like, okay, bet. So now I'm looking at like shell toe Adidas. I'm trying out like some different, like one Christmas my mom got me like some Nikes that like they snapped. It was like a magnetic snap instead of like a shoestring. Actually, it was a shoestring below it, but then it was also like a magnetic snap cover that went with like this fly jumpsuit I had. I can't even remember what they're called. I actually now want to go back and figure that out. But
Oh,
yeah, like I was trying everything. What'd you say?
oh, my bad. I was gonna say if it's the one I'm thinking of, it's called the Air Max Spectre from like 2001.
It That sounds like the time frame too. Like I'ma definitely have to check.
I only that shoe was special to me because I proposed to my wife in it.
Wow. If that is really the kick, man, that's bananas. That connection is bananas. That's what's up though. That's
Yeah.
what's up.
But I got you. Nah, that's a great sneaker memory. I mean, it's pretty obscure and I've never retroed it. I had that same kind of thing with the shoe in 1993 called the Air Check. Very obscure, is mustard colored with black as a random basketball shoe.
Okay.
Um, Watch Martin, the episode where him, Cole, and Tommy were trying to work out with Gina and Pam. Cole is wearing said shoe. But that's the only place I can reference
Oh
it where
dang.
people might know. But they're pretty obscure. But yeah, that is a great sneaker memory. It's nothing like breaking people's heads at school. I mean, when I was in high school, after I started working, I used to couldn't wait for Mondays because I bought some shit. I was getting paid every week, so I'm like, I'm gonna buy some more shit. I'm gonna hurt these. You know what I'm saying? I'm a couple. So I appreciate that. That memory definitely is, it connects with me. So would you say that playoff 13 is the shoe that got you into sneakers?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like even if I couldn't really collect like I wanted to growing up and stuff, and really until like after college. Like that playoff 13 definitely like got me into Jordans especially. And Jordans of course always hold a special heart to anybody who a special place to anybody who likes sneakers. So that definitely got me it got me in the game. I was able to cop they've only re-released it like one time too. So I was able to catch the 2011. Yep. So I was able to grab those. And I still got those, and they're actually pretty straight for let me see. They're actually pretty straight as far as like the condition I still have them in. But yeah, these are definitely still my loves. I barely wear these too. I'm definitely might have to put something with those, but yeah, it's definitely mine. What would you say yours is? Like, what is your like?
My earliest sneaker memory.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just say I'll combo with what got me into it. It was my dad coming home from work one day wearing the black infrared six. He had the short set, the hat, the bag, like he had the whole
Ooh.
kit. And I'd had Jordans, a few Jordans before that, and other shoes, Converse weapons, a couple of random Adidas, mainly Nike. But that was the first shoe I ever wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Where I read it was like it was glowing, and he was like, "Yeah, I didn't get you any." And he was like, "But we can go to the Foot Locker downtown. You know, you want them, but I want to get your foot measured, you know, like that." So he kind of like let me down and then, you know, caught me because I wanted them. And 1991 was the year I really got into, you know, basketball. It was fourth grade.
Yeah.
That was kind of, it started. In the infrared six is still my dad's favorite Jordan. And it's the one shoe, well, I ain't gonna say it's the one, it's one of a few shoes that no matter how many times it comes out, I have to get it.
Gotta get it. Yeah.
With the playoff 13, it was one of my least favorite colors, but that was the first year I was like working a job, so I bought every Jordan 13. And that was probably one of the ones I wore the least. I still have that pair,
Yeah.
but 2011 pair is a memory as well because I was a manager for Villa. Now it's DTLR, but it was the only time that a Griffey outsold a Jordan because they came out the same day as the red Griffey. The
Yeah.
red, and the area I was in was kind of a rougher area of West Side Cleveland, and I was a little worried, you know, for myself
Yeah.
doing that. Like, man, I hope I make it out of here, you know. But yeah, that was that infrared six is what started it for me.
That's
Uh,
what's up.
yeah. Now, do you? I'm pretty sure you do, but you yourself a collector?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I feel like when you get to a point where like you just have just boxes and boxes of sneakers and like you just this like it's not possible for you to wear like all of your kicks in like a certain amount of time, then I definitely would say I love OG colorways. Like I love certain things about sneakers, right? So that actually would make me a collector. Like I'll like, oh, I really like this silhouette. Let me like the overbreaks I got behind me. Let me go grab like 4 or 5 colorways that I enjoy. Like if that's not a collector, then I really don't know what is. I know a lot sometimes in the sneaker community, and I always appreciate those who have the collections like you, like with the depth. Like all like I you definitely run into people who like only collect Jordans and things like that. Nothing wrong with that, but I definitely appreciate the people who like they really get into sneakers. They get into the history, the drops, they get into like all right the players, they really in all types, not just Nike, not just Adidas, but really all types. And I'm definitely trying to expand. Like I have a shit ton of Nikes, of course, a shit ton of Adidas, a few pairs of Reeboks, Feli's, Vans, and stuff like that. But definitely trying to get more into those, and even some of like the smaller brands too. Have you copped from any from like the independent brands or the black brands?
Haven't. I don't know. I'm kind of in a weird spot right now because I'm I've got to kind of watch what I say because I don't know who's watching this, but
All right.
I'm tired of the big guys. I mean, I've because I work for Converse, I've been really wearing a lot of Converse lately, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm something new. You know, I know about SIA Collective and you know a couple other, but I haven't pulled the trigger on anything like that because I'm really cheap,
Yeah.
like really hard. After years of working in shoe stores and managing shoe stores, running, it's hard for me to even pay retail for some of these shoes because I know I'm not going to wear them that much.
Yeah.
So that's where I kind of struggle with branching out because I might pay $150 for the shoe and support somebody and it's good, but am I going to wear it?
Yeah. That's real. That's
You
real.
know, that's a struggle for me. But you know, um, do you have a favorite? I mean, aside from Nike, Adidas, Reebok, I mean, do you have a favorite? Other brand beyond those three? Is it New Balance or is it?
Yeah, I would say I would probably go on the side of New Balance. Like New Balance has some of the dopest colorways on their kicks. They do some of like the craziest collabs. I always usually love like their concept drops and things like that. And but the unfortunate thing for me with New Balance is my size. They just don't usually drop like all of their colorways in my size. So I usually have to go find them. They at least not like in the US. So I usually have to find them through like a StockX or a Goat or something to get like a 7 or a 7.5. Because most of the time it's like an 8 through like a 14 or 15. But yeah, no, like I absolutely love I definitely love New Balances. I don't have as many pairs as I would like to. I have about 3 or 4 different pairs, mostly primary color pairs and stuff like that. But I definitely remember like being even in North Carolina, going to A&T and stuff. Like 993s were just like such a big deal. It was such like the I would call like the 993 like the white Air Force of like the DC Maryland area, the gray ones at least. And it was just like I just so comfortable. You definitely start getting more into like shoes that are comfortable that you can wear a little bit longer. I feel like as you start getting older and stuff like that. Because I love certain pairs and I won't call them out by name. But like I just if I can't wear you for longer than 2-3 hours, I'm probably barely wearing you. And there are a lot that just like the toe box or things like that will kind of clamp down and it's just like super tight. And so I kind of just stay away from those. So yeah.
Um, Now my next question is, I mean, I know you came up in Charlotte. Back in the day when you were maybe even when you first started working, where was your favorite place to cop sneakers from?
So I actually worked at a Finish Line for like a couple months at the mall. Actually, it was North Lake Mall. So when North Lake first opened, um, I um I worked at Finish Line. But my favorite place to cop actually, because I thought it was the safest back in the day, in Charlotte was South Park. um Super white area, like yeah, it'd be lines and stuff like that. We get out there, but like people really just weren't going to South Park. People were going to Freedom Drive. I went to Harding, so that was down the street. People were going to where was like another maybe North Tryon. But not people really weren't going to South Park Mall like that to cop kicks. And so like you can get there at a decent time, get in line, get your pair. I definitely remember doing that a few times with a couple of friends during high school. And that was just an easy fix. It's crazy to think that like I felt like that was difficult back then. This shit now is difficult. Eastland, that's facts. Definitely people are going to Eastland Mall. I was never going to Eastland Mall. Like that just felt like a fight waiting to happen. Um,
Oh, I think I lost you. I can't hear you.
oh, can you
Couldn't
hear
hear you
me?
for a second there. Sorry, I can hear you now.
Oh, okay. Oh no, you're good. So yeah, definitely going to South Park. Just because I felt like I said like it was like the safest and the easiest to go to. Yeah.
Shout out to everybody that joined. My wife, she's in the Weathers HR. Um, I mean, since probably about 2 hours from Charlotte, we when we come, we always usually just go to Concord Mills because I want to go to the clearance store.
Mm.
We parked before, but it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago when we first visited North Carolina before moving down here, and I remember being very white there, very prim and proper at South Park. So
Oh yeah.
I was working for Hibbett Sports at the time, so I went to
I,
Hibbett that it was kind of close to there, but it was in the hood. It was like the
yeah.
hood, and then it changed over like right away to the nice part. It was like a few blocks. It's weird.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
area?
I mean, I wish I was had a Hibbett Sports near me now. I definitely miss Hibbett Sports. That was another good cop place too. Like Hibbett Sports was definitely. I feel like some people still definitely hit off there on like reservations or something.
Yeah, I mean, I come from a culture of working at shoe stores where I was able to hold shoes for people and charge people for that. So
Yeah.
when I Exhibit. I got two releases. Did it for the Katrina 3 and the Prom Night 11. After that, they came with the digital stuff. Fuck my jug all the way up. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
Exhibit, I've they've been looking to expand, and I would be in those meetings. I'm like, man, y'all need to be in Michigan, man. How are y'all not in Michigan? With Detroit, Flint,
Yeah.
all these places, like that's
Yeah.
money, you know.
Yeah. It's actually crazy to me how many things are like not in Detroit. Like Detroit doesn't have an Adidas store. I mean, we have an Under Armour and a Nike store, but it's not even a Nike store where you can do reservations. Like we're not considered part of like the Midwest when they do the drops there. Like it's just it's yes. Is that not bananas? Like I'm not understanding. We have a whole Nike community store. Now we do have a dope hometown Foot Locker Detroit store, and they do a lot of collabs and stuff there. They do workshops there, like customization work stops and stuff like that. But yeah, no, it's not a Nike store that's like part of the reservation system. No Adidas store. The close both close things to that is Chicago, of course. So yeah, no, it's so where do you spend most of your time copping at now though? Digital definitely has like taken over.
Um, honestly, I'm so cheap. I mainly just be on Poshmark and Macari and Depop, eBay. I don't really have any connections out here. I mean, I still have some at home in Cleveland, but um, yeah, it just is it's whatever I can get. I mean, I have hit on the sneakers app a few times this year. My wife usually is the one that hits more often, but she's also upwards of 300 pairs, so she's copping for herself. She's won some wonderful things from me, but you know, yeah. So just kind of wherever I can find stuff. I'm basically been on kind of a. This touches back to what you asked earlier. I'll say if I'm copping, it's mainly reach back stuff that I couldn't find before, or I need that or
Yeah,
whatnot. That's kind of been more so what I've been on. I mean, even with the thrifting down here, because Mebane is in between Raleigh and Durham and Greensboro, Salem, and
yeah,
opposite. It's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, but in the middle of everything. So the thrifting here isn't really like how it was at home. So I'll be kind of suffering a little bit,
yeah,
because I don't look Plato's Closet and Uptown, Cheapskate, Avalon Exchange. Those places aren't really thrifting to me. I call it fancy thrifting, because you're pulling back all the bullshit just to get the good shit. I like looking
yeah,
through the bull, you know.
yeah. Yeah, I was about to say they basically tried to do the job for you, and go grab the thing. So yeah, nah, like thrifting to me, like if it's over like $10, like depending on what it is, like that's not thrifting. Like I like my teas in like the $3 to $4 range, like possibly a $2.99. Hope it's a blue tag day and it's 50% off, like stuff like
Yeah,
that. I mean, what? I
yeah,
do not mind at all. I don't mind at all. I actually did some thrifting yesterday, and definitely I it's crazy because like I feel like a lot of the stuff that we thrift for, like places like PacSun, Urban Outfitters and stuff are selling for like 40 bucks for like the same t-shirt. Um and so it's just crazy to see that when I can like literally like you say go into a thrift shop and go grab a whole bunch of tees for like 15-20 bucks, and they look like, they look dope. They look like this.
yeah. Because it's kind of like, even on the, because some stuff I'll be like, all right, I can't fit this. This is so good. I'm gonna put it, on eBay or whatever.
Yeah.
Sports stuff really works out for me well, but I agree with you. I'm to the point now where, I mean, I used to, when I was young and I used to be into the Iceberg and Coogee back in the early 2000s, late 90s. It's like I could pay $100 for a T-shirt. I don't even want to pay $100 for a shoe now. Where it's at, and that's the one thing I probably miss the most, other than my family and friends, about Cleveland, because I had little spots where there's this one spot called Savers, where I knew if I was going in there, I was gonna find something, something
Mm,
vintage, whether it be a shoe, or a shirt. They were a little higher, where their t-shirts might be $8 or $10, but it would be so raw where it's like, I can't leave this here. I'm not gonna find
yeah.
this. I can't believe this is here. Um, that kind of stuff. But here, I mean, you from North Carolina, so I mean, a lot of thrift stores here just be furniture. It's
Yeah.
furniture. So I'm like, I yeah. So and there are a lot of upstart boutiques with kids reselling shoes for way too much money. That's a lot of
Of course. Of
so
course.
Oh man, I'm enjoying talking to you so much. I'm forgetting about the questions. I'm sorry.
No, you good. You good.
All
We
right,
flowing.
where do you cop sneakers? I mean, everybody gives me the crazy look, like nigga, you know how it is now. But where do you cop sneakers now, or where do you find the most luck from now? As a, I know you said the sneaker app is trash, so
Yeah. The most luck. So I don't know if you ever heard of Soul Savvy. They yeah, so it's like a subscription service, but they give you like all the information on like every drop. So like they give you stock information, like the best strategy to cop and stuff like that. So like when I really really want to kick, I'll sit down, I'll pay attention to like the alerts and things like that. I'm trying to think of like the store. Oh, honestly, yeah, because sneakers app is trash. I don't win mostly on sneakers app unless like nobody really wants them. Like I definitely hit on the ISPAs that drop. I hit on both pairs. I wasn't actually expecting that, but I hit on both pairs and I was happy. And I'm like, that's probably because nobody wanted them, which I'm perfectly okay with. I like kicks that I like, and I'm not trying to go for just all the hype ones. So I copped those or whatever. But honestly, I think I've had my most luck if I can time it right. Bodega is usually pretty decent. Bodega is usually pretty decent. Kith, I don't think I've ever hit on shoes on Kith. It's so quick. Like people just really don't be having bot protections. I've never hit on a Foot Locker's reservation. I keep meaning to try not sneaker, Snipes raffles here in Detroit because a couple of my friends have hit consistently on those for like dunks. But yeah, like it's really hit or miss. Adidas actually is pretty decent when it comes to me trying to cop. And they've been doing some restocks lately that have been like really great. So I've been able to go back and get like the safflowers. I went and got like some NMDs that I wanted, some hues. So it's kind of all over the place. Like you really got to like put your eggs in a whole bunch of different baskets, and kind of hope that it comes out. There's not really like sneaker stores here in Detroit like that where you're like, all right, I'm about to go like stand in line. Like I'm not going to a Foot Locker or things like that to like stand in line anymore. I feel like I don't feel like doing that anymore.
I didn't realize that Snipes had bought Mr. Allen's. I didn't know that that had happened because
Yeah.
we had it for a couple of years in Cleveland, but it just didn't. It wasn't like how it is in Detroit, and it was just basically. I mean, they had the Jordans and stuff, but it was basically just marketed to Clevelanders as the place to get Air Force Ones, and
Yeah.
you know, Air Force Ones are always going to be Air Force Ones to us people really into sneakers that want more than just the all whites. But
Yeah.
for whatever reason, I mean, we had two locations in Cleveland, but they just didn't hit, But Snipes has helped myself and my wife out different times with like that this all Bolt '97 that came out either a year or two ago, and my wife missed it, and they ended up restocking it, so she was able to get it. So you know,
Nice.
all about Snipes. Now, what would you say is the biggest influence on your sneaker purchasing? What is the biggest influences? Nostalgia is.
Hmm. I definitely I'm trying to think. It it definitely is like kicks I wanted back then. I think that's my biggest thing, especially when it comes to like OG colorway, especially when it comes to like certain Jordans. It really is like kicks that I wanted back then. As far as my overall purchases right now, I would say that I would love to say that I buy kicks for clothes that I have, but it's the complete opposite. I buy clothes for kicks that I've already bought. And so like even in my phone, I have a list of kicks that I have no clothes that I feel like really go with them. And so they're literally just sitting on ice until I figure that out because like I'm just like I got enough where I can just wear something else that goes perfectly with my fit. Like I've definitely moved from like a all right, my kick is my everything to my outfit to a okay, like it's the whole outfit now. Like it's everything that I can try to put together. Which is why I really love thrifting because you get those like singular items, right? Like I really don't like I remember in high school like people buying J's and stuff like just the white tee, the jeans, and whatever Jordan just dropped on Saturday morning is what you're wearing on Monday to school. And I'm like, I just so glad that we're kind of far away from that and people are trying to really get those unique pieces and stuff like that. And thrifting is like the cheapest way to do that. Like I'll definitely take like an old woman looking silk shirt and put that with the right kicks, and that's a fly fit. Like that's a fly fit. So I definitely would say like my clothes and stuff, and how I feel about, I think clothing and stuff definitely probably more influences me now. And then when the retros come, like the Concords and the cool grays at the end of this year, like you got to. You got to. What about you? How do you select now what you cop when you're looking at like eBay and stuff like that?
Um, well, with with the Converses that I found, trying to find random collabs. I'll say Converse. I hate to say this, but it's the truth. Converse is the brand I can say I'm a bit of for because I mainly just look for the collabs.
Yeah.
Where I might find a random pair of pro leathers that Undefeated did in 2012 or something like that. I'll look for stuff like that once I learn about it. But with everything else, it generally is nostalgia. I'm still, since I'm into basketball, sports in general, but especially basketball, there are certain shoes that I wouldn't own if I wasn't into basketball.
Mm.
So something like an answer 4 or answer 5, like I remember Allen Iverson beating my Lakers in the 2001 finals after they had swept through the whole West. Then they lose to the 76ers in that game, crossing over Tyronn Lue and the answer 4. Like I think if I don't have it, sometimes just to replace it, if it's like, yeah, this is the OG pair and it's separating, the new pair is coming out, I need to have this shoe still. So fuck it, I'm
Yeah.
gonna just, you know what I mean? Sometimes it's that, but it's mainly a love for sports, um, love for certain players in said sport, and nostalgia. And with thrifting, where it comes into play is I haven't really got to North Carolina so much hotter than Ohio, but I'm a real big hoodie, jacket, layering person.
Yeah.
So one thing I was doing before I moved down here was I would look for non-elaborate urban clothes from the late '90s and early 2000s. So I'd look for like a Rockaware hoodie, but it would just say Rockaware. It wouldn't have a bunch of shit all over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that with when I think of Rockaware, I might think of the year '99, 2000. I might wear it with some 15s or something like that. You know what I mean? Just to kind of relate. You know, time. I still have all my Averexes and a lot of old stuff too. I mean, this jersey I'm wearing, I probably bought in 2001 or two. Is way too big, but you
Yeah.
know, I'm real nostalgic. I'm unnecessarily nostalgic, so that even
Yeah.
comes. So, are there any brands that you try to get, or that you look for specifically, or is it just kind of whatever you see?
As far as clothing,
Yeah,
it's pretty much whatever I see. I mean, I definitely try out the I don't call it like the hype brands. Like I'll grab like a couple of Supreme shirts are definitely like flames. So I love collecting like the black artist shirts that they'll drop. Or other places will drop. Like Palace dropped the Whitney Houston shirt with a hat. So I cop that. And then like I have like a Supreme shirt from Supreme, like it's like the Supremes. And then a couple of other, I have a Tupac shirt and stuff like that. I definitely will try like a Fear of God. I got a couple of Fear of God and Essential things. So I like Jerry Lorenzo and what he does. But for the most part, no. Like I love really like I'm with you as far as like my look is concerned. I definitely lean more retro than anything else. I love funky patterns and colorways. I love just like weird looking shirts. Like weird looking button up shirts is like my thing now. And because and also with that, like a lot of my shoes and stuff, like if my Air Maxes, I love Air Maxes because of the retro to them. Like I love my 98s, my 97s, my 90s. I love the ones. And those mixed with like some weird random like pattern shirt. Like you just get, I'm in my closet, so this just works. Like I got this from like a thrift. It's all silk. Like I got from like a thrift for $7. These I have the Chinese New Year Jordan 6s. It went like it was literally just a perfect match. And I love just being able to kind of do that. So I lean more into that than I do brands. But I will try out brands. I love trying out black owned brands too. So like Mifflin drops a lot of dope stuff. Aikido drops a lot of dope stuff that goes with like kicks and stuff. So I'll definitely, lean more trying like a dope brand, a dope black brand, or just a good thrift with some individuality to it.
you know what I mean. stuff that
Say that again.
one of my favorite things about thrifting is it makes you know what I mean that you wouldn't have before. Where I might go and I might find a shirt that's got just a wolf on it or something like that, but you know what I mean. Or one of my most random things because I sold a lot of stuff moving down here, is trying to downsize my clothes, but I
Mm.
have a Reba McEntire shirt a few years ago, and it was black, but it was purple and teal, like the Aquas. So I just wore it with the Aquas. I'm like, this is definitely from the early '90s. So
Yeah.
you know, it goes. Yeah, it's just doing stuff like that. You know, where it's like, you know, this nigga got on a Reba McEntire shirt. Like, what the fuck? But I like how
Eh,
you know. So
Yeah.
okay. Well, what is your most recent sneaker cop?
So like I said, they just came in too. I copped both pairs. I'll do it in unboxing probably sometime this week. But I copped both pairs of the ISPAs that dropped. So they had the like the silver pair that dropped. Wow. Okay, so first off, this is my first time taking these out the box. Because they just been sitting there. These are super light. Like I'm very curious the weight of these. They're super light. I'm actually very excited about the string structure right there. I've definitely gotten into like the recyclable things that Nike has done. So I have a couple of the Space Hippies, a couple of like Reacs that have recyclable material to it. So I literally just caught this one and oh, I like this colorway better. And this one.
Yeah.
So just got both of those. So I'm super excited to think about what to put with this. Because this is different. Like I like this. It looks like it has a React it has the React sole to it too, so I know it's gonna be comfortable. So yeah, so this is the latest thing that I just copped. What about you?
Well, I'll go grab it quick.
All right, cool. I can't wait.
It's nothing like that, but it's just a little something. So
Okay, okay.
this was
Where'd you cop from? Where'd you cop from?
already fine, but I ended up buying another Converse weapon. But I got to clean the other one, but they were only $14. So you know, weapons are kind of hard to come by for some reason. So now I'm just trying to find another pair of these, and I'll be good.
Ooh.
So you know, but Magic is my favorite player, so I gotta. I'm wearing a Celtics jersey, but I gotta have his shoe. You know what I mean? So
I was about to say you traitor.
I lost the bet.
Oh,
So
you did say that. That actually now makes complete sense. If Magic is your favorite player, that is what you do to a Magic lover. That makes sense.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I do own this jersey, but you know, my father. We FaceTimed earlier, and he was like, "Why are you wearing that?" My son was like, like they didn't even know I had this stuff. So pretty pretty crazy. But let me ask you, what's the biggest change or adjustment that you've had to make involving sneakers post pandemic?
Um, I think I'm really glad I got over the fact that I was not hitting on sneakers earlier in life. Because after like post pandemic is like damn near impossible. And I won't even front like I mean we all love sneakers. Like my Saturday would be like so hurt if I woke up that morning and I tried to hit and I did not hit. Like I'd be upset for a good little minute. And it eventually got like shorter and shorter to then I'd be like, all right, you know what? Forget it. Like if I either really want the kick, I'll go pay resale or something, or I'll just go get something else. Which I definitely did a lot of like revenge purchases when I couldn't get kicks. Like just a lot of like, you know what, I'm gonna get two pairs of something else and forget you. But yeah, so it really was that, and getting comfortable with like you're really just not gonna get every pair that you want unless you're really ready to drop some money. And I'm trying to like be a little bit smarter with my spending, which that's probably actually something I learned during pandemic too. So I'm trying to be a little bit smarter with my spending. So, actually, I take all that back. I know, I'm sorry. I take all that back.
All
I
good.
think I think what I learned the most is to really go for the kick that you want and not just every kick. Like I definitely got into a good habit for a while of like I think the Jordan 11 lows dropped like for like maybe 2018 for the summer. Like a lot of pairs dropped, and I felt the need to grab every pair that dropped. And it's like not a bad thing at all, but like I ended up maybe reselling half of them just because I was like, I didn't really want you to begin with. And then the way that it is now trying to get a kick, if it feels like if you do have like I don't know if you really love sneakers to a certain extent, I'm like I'm only going to go for now the things that I really want, that I want to add to my collection, that I feel like is going to add something to either a fit or just add something to my collection or just something I really want, instead of just trying to get like every single thing. I think that's actually what I learned, because then also you just can't get every single thing. Not now unless you're trying to spend a lot of money. Like anybody who's been showing these massive ass Jordan 1 collections and shit, I'm just very curious as to how much they spend. Cause that's a lot. Like, and you're not, there's no way you hit on retail unless you really got maybe one of you in a sneaker store somewhere, ready to slide them some for like just the extra 50. I mean, extra 50 right now, you can still make bank. Like people definitely be 150 and stuff like that. So extra 50, you can make bank. You were like the original plug.
Yeah, like I remember the most money I made on the shoe release was when the Gold Pinnacle 6 came out. The store I
Okay.
was working, the account in Cleveland that got them, and I made like $7 that day. Like it was insane because no villas or DTLRs, none of the foot sites. Like nobody had them other than the company I was working for at the time, and I was like, well, it's gonna cost you. You know what I'm saying? I had like 50 pair of them, and I was a small store, so for me to get them, the other stores in our company probably had 100 pairs, but
Yeah.
I lifted a bunch of those gold Jordan keychains for myself. I took like 3 or 4 of them, and out of the shoes, and just had to do it. I know it probably makes me look like nigga, but hey, a lot of shoes I bought was because of charging people for other shoes. Because the way I would look at it as a store manager, if I only see you for the hype shit, you're not really a customer. You're just somebody who wants the shoe, but you ain't coming
Yeah.
in this regular shit. You ain't coming in buying socks or hats, so you're gonna get taxed because you don't patronize me anyway. So fuck.
Yeah. I mean, shit, why not? I'm definitely not against that. I mean, because we know the difference, right? Like you can point that shit out like a mile away half the time after you look at like a couple kicks in a collection, be like, oh, okay, I understand like what type of vibe you want.
Yeah, because this is kind of like if you and I were in the same city and you just, you know, even if you just came into the store every now and then to say what's up, we talk sneakers or whatever, and you really wanted something, I wouldn't charge you. But if I only see you for the hype shit, nah. So yeah, you get what I'm saying, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. For me, the biggest change I've had to make is just not thinking with a pre-pandemic brain because
Mm,
that's how they were back in the day. Sometimes, like I've said it on the show before, the Flint 30 will let me know everything changed because the first few releases in the pandemic, you could just get like you could get the purple ones, you could get the DMP6s, the
hmm.
Fire Red Fives. You could get that, but the things were different because I'm like, oh, it's full of family. You know how it is when it's full of family. It's a bunch of pairs, whatever. But that's a whole nother thing now because I still don't have the new pair. I have every other release of that shoe except for the new one, but I refuse to pay resale for it. So,
What's the resale sitting at? I'm just curious, you know?
um, it's really not that bad. It's probably 225, 230 in my
Oh,
size,
okay.
which that's really not nothing. But I still see the Jordan 13. This is a $150 shoe. Like that's
Yeah.
been a so. I know I sound like an old head, but yeah,
I
that's tough.
mean, I feel like people have had to like you've had to adjust in some way because like when they started doing like every kick was a raffle on sneakers app, I was like, "Oh, okay. This is where we are now." So like you have a couple of different ways you can adjust with this. You can say, "Forget it. I'm not getting the kick." You can say, "All right, I'm going to try to do everything to get the kick. If I get it, great. If I don't, you either pay in resale or you not." Like it really comes down to that. But like it really, or like you just paying out the ass. Like I said, like I'm telling anybody I'm looking at on Instagram now, and I'm like, wow, all those Jordan ones that just came out, and you got every pair. Like how I don't want to know how much you're dropping because I'm not about to drop it. But it's got to be crazy. It's got to be crazy.
Last year I got to buy a lot of because people when I know we started this, I was in my closet, but it was a little warm in there, so I came out here. But like all of my Jordan ones, last year I bought a lot of Jordan ones. Was probably 16. You know what I'm saying? Because the hype was already in, but it wasn't like how it is now. Like I think my most recent one is probably the biohack.
Okay.
You
Okay.
know,
I
bio
slept on that
second pine greens are probably the only two I think I got last year.
one.
But yeah, I see that a lot. You know, and it's the dunks are worse than the Jordan ones, but
Oh my goodness. The dunks are the absolute. I've copped two pairs since they really started going on this dunk craze. I actually grabbed the dunk by use. I was able to get in on that on the first go round. I know they did like a restock for like a second too. So I was able to get my parents. So I was happy about that. And then somebody I know in like around Detroit that resells kicks for a decent price. The football grays. He had them for like 180. So I was like, okay, I think the retail it's probably, well, dunks are usually 110. So probably like a 110 to 140. Yeah. So it's like, but you really like, it's crazy like how dunks really are going right now. I didn't even know everybody wore dunks like that. I
yeah,
swear before now, I ain't seen not one person in the damn pair of dunks. And like, I mean, not actually not one person, but like not at least to the quantity of them selling out and going like they are right now. What up, Sneak Freak? But like, it's crazy. Like it really is. It's really crazy on how they're doing the dunks, and it really is crazy that majority of shoes are raffles now. Like on the sneakers app, like it's already a raffle. Damn it! If you really tell me about it, so why you now telling me it's a raffle? It's been a raffle, low key.
and I mean the way the sneakers app started, it was for exclusive shit. You know what I mean? It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't there wasn't no Griffey's or no Barclays or nothing on the sneakers app. So they've already
No
kind
Air
of
Forces.
yeah, you know that was just stuff you get on Nike.com or at a
Yeah,
store. So
yeah,
yeah, that's been different. But with you know, dunks were hyped back in the day, but it was SB dunks. You know what I mean? A lot of times you
yeah,
had to out to get them. It wasn't SBs wasn't on no sneakers app or
yeah,
whatever. And I remember 15, 16, 17 being able to buy dunks SBs at Burlington. Like I got about 5 or 6 pair in that time frame. They were all 34.99. You know, crazy ones and regular ones. Like,
yeah.
but I don't know. I remember wondering aloud, like, because I used to do a regular podcast. It wasn't videos, voice. I remember saying, I wonder if Jordan ones are so hot, why dunks aren't. So I feel like I put that in the blame myself because it's like
You,
nobody
yeah.
gives a dunks, but everybody wants Jordan ones. So
Yeah, I mean, it really is though. Like it's the same. It's the same silhouette. It's the same piece right there. Like it really is like the same. I got the gray ones here, so like you can see, like it is extremely similar. So maybe you did put that out there. Because I swear, like I said, like wasn't nobody checking for them, and now, like I love to see you get a pair. Like it's really difficult out here to get a pair.
like the only new dunk that I have that's from within the last year since this started is the I hit those on sneakers while I was in a doctor's appointment. So
Yeah,
I had to kind of contain my elatedness of winning the shoe because we were about my health. So, you know, but I had to get that was the only one I really, really wanted because I wanted those back in the day. I used to see them on Nike Talk and they're like, oh, they're a co.j piece. They're only coming out in Japan. So, you know, it's like, dang. But yeah,
Nike Talk. Ooh,
definitely a Nike Talk guy. I used to get
I
all my
missed
info.
that.
That was the first place I was posting my sneaker pics. So what did you wear today? It's the only time I've ever done a collection post was on Nike Talk, and I did one back in 2007 or eight. You know, so um, yeah, I go on there every now and then now, but it's not quite the same.
Yeah,
So
no, not at all.
this is going to be a really basic question, kind of silly, but you know, what is your favorite shoe?
Like,
I I'll show you mine, and I only
Yeah,
have these.
okay, yeah. Let's start with you because I'm just like, wow.
These are my favorite shoes.
If
I've
I
had
had those would be my favorite shoe.
well, I've had these since I was in eighth grade. They're 10 and a half. I'm an 11, 11 and a half now. They definitely fit like an 11. Um, these are my most prized possession because it's the shoe I've had the longest. I was literally a kid when I got it. I never thought that the Jordan 1 would be the Jordan. So I love this shoe before the hype, but um,
That beautiful yellowing at the bottom is so beautiful.
I appreciate it. It's the because one of the categories in the sneaker battle I was in was if your house was on fire and you had to grab one pair, what would it be? And it would be that pair,
Yeah.
not Chicago, but just because I've had it for so long. And I feel like when Michael Jordan was wearing the one, that's the shoe he was wearing. I mean, he didn't really wear the Breads. He wore them in the dunk contest, but
Yeah.
he airship or he was wearing that shoe. So you know, but people used to clown me for wearing that shoe in eighth grade and ninth grade, like calling it ugly. But this is mid '90s. Retro wasn't really a thing yet, so
Yeah.
you know. But yeah, those are my favorite and most sentimental. That's my most prized possession. So
Wow.
if I had to get rid of every shoe and start over, that's the one shoe I would
And
keep.
then you starting off with that. I don't know if I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if one shoe means that much to me. That's iconic. Like no matter how which way you spin it, like Jordan 1, colorway, nostalgia piece, like him taking that shoe and it really being like the flagship, like that is just that shoe. Like that really is just that shoe. I also enjoy the sneaker battles you be in too, especially when I can vote. I'd be like super happy.
Appreciate that. And we the last one I was in, we had a tiebreaker that we just did before the show because I guess I was tied with the guy I was going against, and I really felt like I came with it today, but I just want to make it to the next round. I pulled out some shit I didn't really want to have to pull out this soon, but so you know.
I feel that. Wait. You gonna tell us what you pulled out?
Okay, so it was three. It was a best of three. The first category was favorite non-Jordan, so I pulled out the original South Beach 8 LeBron.
Okay. Nice.
Shoe that gets hated on the most that you wear. Oh, I'll tell you. He pulled out the Kobe 6 Pro Troll 3D Lakers, so that was a nice one. Then the shoe that you have that gets hated on the most, I pulled out the clear Air Force One, the Invisible Woman from '06.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, everybody hates that shoe. They hated it when it was new. Then the whole hood started wearing the bootlegs, and it was okay. But he pulled out the zebra as his most hated on shoe.
Wait, what? The zebra?
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
He said some people in his family didn't like it, so that was that. And then for the last round, it was most beautiful shoe. He pulled out the white cement 4, and I pulled out the what the Kobe 8.
Ooh.
Um, I hope that I win, but I look at this like I look at a lot of things. I look at hey, like it's all about popularity. It's like student council. You know what I'm saying? So, you
Yeah.
really winning because of what you have or how popular you are. Because you follow basketball, the best player doesn't always win the MVP. So, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You know how that go. Yeah, that's real.
I think that shoe for you should be the playoff 13 because of that memory you shared, that beautiful memory with
I
killing them.
really and I really thought about that. Like I really but I think it was like you're like, yeah, cuz I don't even know are they going to redrop these again? I would assume so in the near future. My bubble even still looks nice too. I'm about to start wearing these more.
Because we talked about this, the next day that I don't have to wear Converse, which I think is Friday, I may break those out, tag you with it because I never wear them either. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? They were one of my least favorite OG Jordan 13s back in the day, but I love them now. And they've been supposed to have released twice and didn't. They're supposed to come out in
Yeah.
17. So I don't know why they don't bring them back. They're just so
Yeah. Yeah, like they definitely brought back the breads a few times so far with no problem on the 13s. I mean, it's a bread colorway, but still, they
That
were real
last
quick with those.
that last 13 was awful. Like it was made so bad. Like I
That
don't know.
reflective.
Yeah, like the shape was off. Materials.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, you all have a favorite shoe, but what's your go-to shoe or one of your go-to shoes? You're like, I'm gonna kill them today. You know what I'm saying? They ain't even seeing me today.
Kill him today. Oh, that's like it's not more difficult. It's just like okay. My Sakai's look pretty. I wear my Sakai's, so I mean it is always a kill, but still. I got some Caddy custom. So I got a couple pair of custom kicks. So Caddy Customs. This black woman out of LA. She's actually I think now like the sneaker designer for Big Baller brand.
Oh,
Um, but yeah, so I've been following her for years, and I copped a pair of retro Yeezys. Um, like I really wanted a pair of like retro looking some Yeezy 350s a couple years ago, so I copped these. So these are always like these always catch the eye just because they're different. And she like it's easier probably if I flip them. That's my cup of water. But yeah, it's like she definitely went ham. And you know, a good old thrift. I think the shirt is probably in dirty clothes, but I end up finding a shirt that went like literally with that. I think I posted it this past weekend actually. So that and then yeah, so that is always like a oh yeah, you about to like people about to say something about them. Actually, when I went to Europe a couple of years ago, me and my homegirl, we both have the Chinese New Year's that dropped that year. So this goes with that shirt I told you I thrifted. So these always also catch eyes. In particular, when we were in Europe, we were walking around Paris and we had these. Me and my homegirl had these on, and it was like everybody was like, "Yo, what the hell?" But see, they didn't get these in Europe, so they were really in like StockX and stuff wasn't super big then, so they were really like, "Yo, what the hell?" But and pointing and stuff because we were going in and out of sneaker stores left and right. So those always usually get hella attention just because it's a lot of detail. Like it's all embroidered. Like I feel like they don't really make Jordans with detail like that anymore. Not with quality. Like we can both talk about the quality and how trash has been these past couple of years, especially during coronavirus. Like we can't get kicks, and then the kicks are technically low key like trash on quality. Like the Carmines were trash on quality. Like they did those kind of disrespectful. But yeah, like they don't make kicks like that no more. And of course, like everybody loves the Sakai's because it was a dope collab. And then primary colors are always an in, so that's
whew.
always one of my okay. Let's show off a little bit. All right, what about you? I know you. Besides the ones you just pulled out, what else? What else you got that's like, all right, I'm about to just stunt real quick. Sneaker ball king. What's going on?
Um, I've actually only been to one sneaker ball, and I played it nice, but you remember those Air Max ones that they had a white pair and an orange pair, and they had to just do it all over it.
Yeah,
With the patches, they sort of look like an off white that you could actually, that was affordable. So
yeah.
I got those when I wore that. But for me, showing off, and my wife hates this shoe, but these.
Wow.
I love shoes. I love Jeremy Scott's. I have a few, but yeah, I love. But
That's
yeah,
catching eyes. That's catching eyes.
my wife hates that shoe. It's like a list she has of you can't wear these if we go out together. But those Chicago's are on that list too because she doesn't like old looking stuff. So
What?
she's not a fan of the yellow one. So
Yeah, man, Jordan, especially Jordan ones, they actually look better with age. Like
I,
Jordan ones look the best, broken in, and a nice like that yellowing is so. People buy pins now. I actually have a pin, because I when I work on customs, people buy pins now to make their soles that yellow. Like that vintage yellow is just, oh man, that's a man. I'm so hype about that pair. Like that just made my day for real.
appreciate it. It's a few others though. I mean the Doernbecher 6,
Yeah.
South. a lot of times it'll be a Jordan that people forgot about, and I'll just pull it out like a PSNY 12 or a pre-grade 5. That pre-grade 5, I didn't really like it as much at the time, but I still got it. But to be an all obsidian and light blue Jordan 5, nobody,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You think?
So
Yeah.
the Wolf Gray and Wolf Gray 5s is another one. Every time I pull it out, any lifestyle Jordan that hasn't crumbled yet that I still have does
Yeah.
that. Um, so do you store your sneakers in the box, or do you have you gone to the?
I'm I'm a mix of a couple different things. I do like to like come in this room and like make outfits. Like I just throw like put everything on the floor or what have you. Sometimes I post pictures of it. So I do like to see like my latest kicks, even though I now of course have a stack of kicks like against my wall and stuff because I just don't have room in the shelves. And then in the basement, I had a couple of containers, plastic containers, thank goodness, because we took some water down there. So I had some plastic containers. But now I'm going to go and get like the sneaker containers that everybody has and probably put them either in the second bedroom that's upstairs or in the basement. And because we have quite a bit of room and a couple of different rooms in the basement to kind of start setting those up. So yeah, so I'm definitely going to start doing that. My baby sister wears the same size as me, and there's just been so many times where like either she comes near me and my kicks are gone, or like she's like, hey, I really like those, and I give her my kicks. So like now that I finally stopped doing that, I I don't have anywhere for these things to go. So they must go somewhere. I've been looking at like some apps to try to keep up with like everything that I have. Cause I'm like, I don't know how I'm supposed to remember like, oh yeah, like it's a pair I might want that's like not in this room right now or downstairs or in another room. I don't know. How do you decide how you pulling out what and when?
Um, a lot of times the influence will be something I saw on TV, sort of sporting uh, event. Like if I saw Michael Jordan wear the shot, or Michael Jordan with the shot, I might pull out the 4.
Yeah,
Um, with the Converses, I try to mix it up with regular shit and collabs and vintage. I try to, you know, do one of each. Like since I wore those pro leathers today, I might come with some CDGs or something tomorrow, or to
yeah,
be something different. And then I try to still work in performance because I still love performance shoes. But it just kind of is a mix of how I'm feeling that day, or if I put a couple of outfits out and iron ahead of time, it'll just be just whatever I'm feeling. So
I
it's
feel
weird
that.
to wear a brand of shoes, because you work at a place, but
Yeah,
it's all right.
yeah.
Yeah. What about you?
um, it really just depends. Honestly, nah, Detroit depends on the weather. A lot of times, like to be honest with you, like I can't wear Yeezys in the winter. That's like why, like they would just be cold and messed up. And like so like the Sakai's I pulled up I can't wear in the winter. Hirachis I tend not to wear in the winter. Like it's really got to be like a good leather. So like my high tops I tend to not wear in the summer, but that's only like a month and a half of not possibly wearing them. So yeah, and I definitely kind of switched to like high tops and low tops with the weather too. So it definitely a lot of time it really just depends on that. And then uh, honestly, it's kind of like just like a what color, not even a what color, like a what color and what feeling do I have today? Like if I need like a pick me up, all right, let me pull out like some super bright kicks, some fun kicks with like maybe a fun shirt. Because I definitely like these always, anytime I especially even wear them around kids, they always bring up like Nickelodeon and stuff like that. So I'm like, these are fun. So if I need pick me ups, I'll do that. If I'm like, you know what, I'm trying to be like black as hell or something today, I might pull out the Air Max 98s with the drop, the Black History Month drop they did a couple years ago. Trying to feel like futuristic or some shit, I might pull out like the Air Max Evos. I finally started getting into like later Air Maxes. I was like really against any Air Max that came after like the 98 for a very long time. And now I'm finally like I don't like the 270s. I really didn't like the 2020. Like it's just a lot. And so now I'm trying to like try out a couple of the other like the Vapor Maxes and stuff like that. But it really just kind of just feels it kind of just like a feeling. That's why I'm kind of like afraid to put like so much downstairs and stuff because I'm like I'm just not gonna remember like what every kick that I have. And out of sight, you know.
I have that problem because I have shoes are literally all over the house to where I have an extra room that my like shoe room, and then the closet where we started that's just Jay's. But the majority, I'm not gonna say the majority, a big part of my collection is in our garage.
Mm,
Um, this basically just loose shoes that don't have boxes.
yeah.
Um, New Balance, Converse, Puma, Reebok. Well, not Reebok, but other brands that are boxed. And then, upstairs, the closet me and my wife share, I have all my Air Maxes up there. So um, it is out of sight, out of mind thing because a lot of times the garage, you know, even with the air conditioner, it'd be so hot in there that I just won't fuck with it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's too hot. I'm gonna just find something in here. But um, it's been an adjustment because at our house in Ohio, I had like two storage closets that just housed like all of my shoes. So
Hmm.
it was a little different, but it's all I'm kind of just now getting used to not having a basement.
Yeah.
You know, North Carolina, a lot of places don't have a basement. So
Yeah.
uh, now, what is your holy grail? One shoe that's eluded you that you don't have that you just I just need that. Oh,
I
and I
gotta have no, I have one. I gotta have I was just trying to make sure I still had to have it. The answer is yes. I'm just nowhere near paying the resale price for these. Um it really is, and it's not that it's eluded me for very long because it's a rather newer kick, but it's one that just feels like if I'm not gonna have a like the bread ones, then I need to have this pair. I mean, it'd be great also to have the bread ones. But if I'm not gonna have those, then I actually no. I feel like regardless, I absolutely have to have this pair in my collection in like the coming years or something. It's the Jordan 1 UNC off white. It's just so much with it. The colorway, of course, like always Carolina fan. Tar Heel like till forever. That's like picking that at birth. You either a Dookie or a Tar Heel fan. So the colorway, the silhouette being the Jordan 1, the off white, so being with Virgil, with Virgil Abloh and stuff. Like it's just so much to that kick, and it's just I don't know. That thing is just so beautiful. Like I just can't get over how beautiful it is. But I'm not paying $2,000 for it. Not happening.
yeah, like I've never paid more than $300 for a shoe. So I know that even if I had the money, it would just be hard. I would think of all the other shoes I could get instead of just getting that one shoe.
Like $2,000. Like I could be like, you know what? Let me go and collect all the Jordan ones I actually want. Let me go grab the mochas real quick. Let me go get the court purples real quick. Like, let me just go do that because that's one kick. But that one kick, I would probably end up just putting. I would wear it. It would probably only come out at sneaker balls. Definitely when I'm trying to flex. But mostly just sneaker balls in like clean places. And then it would probably definitely have it like its own case, its own clear case. Like that's how much I treasure that shoe. If it's not that, then it really is just got to be a brand one. Um, I can't think of like other kicks like I hate to always ride the Jordan train, but just other kicks really that history is just so like I love Air Max ones. Like I absolutely adore Air Max ones. The history of those are great. I love Chuck Taylor's like the history around like Converse and the vulcanization method and stuff like that. Like I love that. But like the Jordan 1 is just like so it's like you can hate on almost any other Jordan number. You can be like, you know what? I don't mess with the twos. I don't like threes. The fives got too fat of it. Like you can run. But the Jordan 1, like you just can't. Like it is just that kick. And so like any of like the classic OG colorway, like not even any of the classic, but the bread classic OG colorway, um, what you have, and then like the off whites are just like they're just like top tier to me at least. I don't know how you feel.
It's still a few ones that I really regret because that was gonna be my next question. What's your most regrettable pass? But I'll lead in with mine. The same store I was working at. I did the release for the shattered backboards and the release for the Chicago 2015 Chicago. I could have got them with a discount. So I was tenured at said company, and my discount was 50%. So those shoes would have been $86, but I didn't buy them because at the time, Jordan ones. I never looked at them as an unattainable shoe or $2,000 shoe.
Yeah.
Time I pride myself on just wearing this Chicago, but I should have bought the newer Chicago because of how much it means to me. But that shattered backboard is tough because I don't really wear a lot of orange, and that was my reasoning for not getting it. But I have a video of me sniffing the leather before the release, and I'm like, God, the quality on these is so good. I should have gotten them anyway. I was kind of beefing with my now wife at the time too, so I didn't think it would be a good idea for me to show up Jordans at home. But that those two were probably, and I shouldn't blame her, it's my fault, but I shouldn't have. So those are probably two of my most regrettable passes. So I don't have a newer Chicago or the shattered backboard. Um, I don't have the shadows because I had them pulled up on sneakers, but for whatever reason I didn't get them. And the very first UNC one, the one from 2015, the
Mm.
OG, my store didn't even get those. And by the time I got off, everybody else who had got them in Cleveland had sold out. So yeah. So I have some regrettable passes and some ones, but those are the only four ones I really want. You know.
Yeah. I feel you on that. So definitely agree with you on the shatter boards. And these renditions they've done have done the original no justice. The 2.0s, not the 3.0s. Like they cool and all. And I don't even care about what other. I want to say they were about to do 4.0s later this year or something. I know they're about to drop like some electric oranges that to me you just they do not look great. They're missing black in the back. It's literally what I keep thinking every time I look at the kick.
Or
Um, you say what?
or you could have orange.
Orange. Just something, just not that white. It's literally like just not that white. So but for me, miss, so definitely the shatterboards. I slept. I again like with you, like just not a super orange kick person. Like I just started buying, like I bought the Air Max One like Magmas. I got some New Balance with like orange, and I'm starting to get into them now. But like I was just like, no, I don't even wear orange. Like why would I? Why would I really want this kick? But I slept because they are absolutely beautiful. The biohacks, I slept on those. Like I slept on those, and once I saw them in person, I was like, yeah, I definitely slept on those, and the price went up real quick. It was like 350 for resale within like a matter of like seconds after the drop. So I slept on those, the biohacks. Um, I don't think I necessarily wanted the pine greens. I mean, they'd be great to have in the collection, but I'm not. I don't. I'm still not hurting over them. And I'm not like rethinking. Actually, no. I know what I'm mad I slept on the plum dunks. The plum dunks, the purple, and I slept on them at the drop, and then was like, hell, I want them. Went and looked at this is when I was working at StockX, and we got a little discount. Went and looked at StockX, and they were like 200 resale, and I was like, I could just do that. Like, I really want these. I could just do that. And I didn't. And then pandemic happened. And they went from 250 to like 400 and something dollars in like a matter of a week. And I was like, oh, there's no way in hell now that I'm getting those. But I'm really still upset that I slept on those. And I'm hoping that I can find like either like a slightly used, like a gently or something, or somebody who just being very generous, or like I don't know, like somebody needing to empty out like I don't know their collection or something. Because I really do still want those. That's probably actually like what I'm mad at myself about the most.
Yeah. Now I ain't gonna lie. The day that the biohacks came out, it was the day that um, got the keys to this house, and I missed them on sneakers because I had a heating and cooling guy here, and he was talking to me about some shit, and I was like, oh, it's 10, and it was like 10:14, and we're gone. My wife surprised me with them because they weren't. I don't think she paid, but maybe $20 or $40 over. But I wasn't gonna get them because I have the undefeated dunks that look like those that they're made
Oh,
of. So it's not that bad. But when I put them next to each other, they're still different enough to justify me having them. But you wear a 7, 7.5.
yeah.
I'll be on the lookout for you.
I appreciate that. I
Um,
appreciate that.
I am a fan of how you do things, your pictures.
I
Um,
appreciate
this earlier this morning, you was like, you set yourself up for intentional wins. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of that, reaches me. So
I
I'm
appreciate that.
no problem. No problem.
That's what's up.
Now, what it's kind of related to what we're talking about, but what is your hardest L? The hardest L you've taken on a sneaker, where you really wanted them, you really wanted them, you tried to get them, and you just couldn't get them.
Trying to think. Cause like lately, when I really wanted to kick, I've had to like sit in my computer and hit a lot of different links and stuff. Even like Dick's Sporting Goods is dropping kicks now. I'm just so confused. Nordstrom sometimes drops kicks. Let's see what is my hardest L that I like cry? I didn't cry over? Hmm. I gotta think. I pretty much. Oh well, no, that was my hardest L. But then my husband actually ended up hitting for me. Um, the actually it was the somebody say Paxson drops kicks now too. I'm not going to Paxson.
They do. they resell. Oh man, they had like a little link. Yeah, my somebody sent it to me. I'm like, yeah, Maxo.
Oh no. Oh no. No 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 no. No no no. So I would say my hardest L it's definitely got to be probably some. It wasn't the UNC Jordan ones. The UNC Jordan ones from 2015, 2015, 2015. Yeah, no, that was my hardest L. I remember like had a lot of people helping me to get those pairs and like even drove to like another city to try to get a pair at a store. And it was a no-go. And I still don't have them. Like I grabbed the chills from earlier and they're cool, but they're not those. And I don't even want to imagine what the resale price is on those right now. And that's when you had to like it's crazy to think that it's even harder now because like back then you really did have to work. Like you had to stand in lines, you had to camp out, like you really had to do some work. Maybe it's because now it should be so easier, and it's the fact that it's not makes it feel like it's a little bit harder. But you definitely you had to do work back then. You had to do physical work.
Yeah, I want to say my hardest sell probably still a Red October.
Oh, okay.
I remember the day. I mean, it was February 9th, 2014. Was able to get other Easy Twos, but I really wanted that one.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not even a red sneaker kind of guy, but I just wanted them. You know what I mean? So that was probably the hardest. Me not getting the Air Structures when they came out earlier this year, even though they're all over the place now. That was a hard L just because my pair of 2008 had started crumbling because
Oh,
they
okay.
bought a new pair. And
Yeah.
now they're on my swoosh account for like $65. Like I could have just waited instead of going through all the work, calling people in Cleveland, send it out to me.
Mm,
I could have them, for $60 or something. I'm just hurt by that. So that was a hard L, but if I'd have just waited a little bit. But if I would have
yeah.
waited, I'd be able to get them. It wouldn't be like that if I didn't, if I didn't have them. So, because I love that shoe. And it's a regular old shoe, but I love it. So,
Yeah.
all right. So you mentioned your husband. How's the feeling with the family and the significant other with your relationship with sneakers?
Um, if bills are paid, money's in the savings account, I'm kind of allowed to, and like things are taken care of, I'm kind of allowed to do what I want. I mean, it's funny because I feel like other people think like, because he's not really into gigs. Like he has a lot of Air Maxes. Honestly, majority of them I'm pretty sure I bought because I was like, I can't have you just out here and like, I love kicks too much. I love you too much. And I love kicks too much for you to just be like out here like any type of way. So like he's definitely, got a love for Air Maxes that he leans into. And I've been enjoying kind of watching him lean more into that. But it's just, he just really doesn't care. He's really not about to be like, let me, if I be like, hey, I need you to do this, he'll like, all right, cool. But like for himself, he's not going to go through all of what it takes to, to get a kick. And yeah, like he kind of, I don't know, he kind of pretty much lets me kind of do me. This was me beforehand. And so like, it's very much so like, he kind of knew it came with the territory. Even though like other people, of course, like everybody's like, wow, you have like a whole room. Like, where's Jared's stuff? Well, he doesn't have as many kicks as I do, so he doesn't need a whole room. Like that doesn't even make any sense. And I actually kind of like it. Like I don't know how I would handle, and you got to tell me how you do it. I don't know how I would handle if both of us were like this. Like I'm not even sure how the budget would handle it. I'm not sure how space would handle it. I'm not sure like who's helping who when we got to like split up friends is going to handle it. Like how do you handle both of you being, very into sneakers?
Um, it's just interesting. This house that we live in now, bought this house last year. It's set up. It's not. I won't say it's smaller, but it's set up different, and it's no basement. So space has been, a topic of discussion, but
Mm-hmm.
it's worked out because a lot of times, I mean, my wife will, she'll let me know about shit. You know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh, I didn't know that was happening. Or she'll be like, nigga, did you check swoosh today? Did you do
Yeah.
this? So it's it's good. I mean, uh, sometimes we have to talk each other down. Like, you can't go to pieces if you don't win these South Beaches tomorrow. And sometimes that's me telling that to her. Sometimes that's her telling that to me, or either
Yeah.
for her, I mean, you got the original pair, but it's
Yeah.
nothing like her. So,
I like
um,
that. I like that though.
yeah, I mean, it's very nice to have someone that supports your hobby and can join in, with it. We
Yeah.
don't, we aren't one of them couples where, I mean, we have some of the same shoes, but we aren't. Whenever we go out, we both got on the
Yeah.
same shoe. We did a week of that once for.
I about to say when y'all were traveling, right? When you traveled up to Cleveland, yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
We did that, but generally, what I like about her collecting is that she goes for shit that she likes. She doesn't, you know, um, just get shit because I like it.
Yeah.
She got those crusty Adidas ZX whatever. Like they cool, but that's you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
Where
real.
she hates all of the Jeremy Scotts. She doesn't like anything yellow. She likes everything to be crisp. Some of the polo pieces I have. She's like, you buying that and it's faded. I'm like, this is how it's made. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
so the opposites attract in some ways.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
has a style that I wish I had because she's an 8.5 men. So
Okay.
that aren't Jordan 1s are generally cheaper for her than they are for me,
Yeah.
especially LeBron's. Like she got the LeBron 8 hardwood classics for like retail. For me, I can't find them for retail on End or Overkill or anything like that. And on StockX, they're like $50, $60 over, if not more. I can't.
Yeah. Can't do it.
Being from Cleveland, LeBrons are a dime a dozen. So, paying more for them here, I just, nah.
That's real. That's real. Like, are you able to find them in like all stores and stuff in Cleveland? Like just everywhere?
Not everywhere, but enough places. Between Cleveland and Akron, Cleveland, Akron, Canton, if you want to drive that far to get some LeBrons, which I will, like everybody loves the South Beach 8, but everybody was so mad at him he had left that you could just hit them in Cleveland. Like it was no, you know, it was a different thing. Then I mean, the Lakers had just won the championship, so I was disappointed that he left, but I wasn't mad. I wasn't burning up jerseys. Like I still have all my LeBron stuff from when he was with the Cavs before. So, you
Yeah.
know, by that, I always felt like he was gonna come back. So, and he did. So
I was say came back, did the damn thing.
now with you, now I have to ask you this because I asked Sneaker Mess when she was on here. She's from Detroit, so it's a little different. I mean, you're living there now, but do you have a pair of Adidas Top Tens? Uh-oh. That face, I don't know what to expect. Uh-oh.
I live in Detroit now. I live in Detroit now. Of course, I had to grab the classic colorway of the Adidas Top 10. I got my Richard Hamilton jersey does not go with this. It's a different blue because it's not a throwback, but I have a Detroit Shock jersey, which is now they actually don't exist anymore. A WNBA team, a thrift indeed.
There's no
Yeah, no, there's no more Detroit Shock. Nah. Yep.
like it's no more Cleveland Rockers. It's been not no more Cleveland Rockers, but still,
Yeah.
Lambert had them with the championships and everything. I didn't know that there was no more Detroit Shock.
Yep.
Wow.
No. No more Detroit Shock. I don't think they've been here. Not at least as long as I've been here. I think the last 6 years. I don't think. Um, but yeah. So nah, definitely. I had to grab. It was actually really cool too. Even though I got this from Snipes too. So shout out to Snipes. But they messed up my damn box. I was mad about that. But it came with like this dope little card box. Yeah, the top 10 and stuff. So I'm like, I definitely, yeah, I had to. I had to grab it. I had to grab it.
Came out with all the EQTs in 2013, 14, 15. They were putting those cards in those boxes. I like that. It's like their retro card.
Yeah.
Um, I'm ashamed to say I've never owned that top 10 in that color, even though I've sold it at like 4 different jobs I've had. I've never had it. And before we moved down here, my last job before Converse, I was at Foot Locker for my third stint, and I was at a store that was like part outlet, part regular. So we used to get a lot of stuff from Detroit. So we
Mm-hmm.
used to have like a whole wall of top 10s, like 10, 12 colors. And dudes from Detroit that were in Cleveland for whatever reason would just buy them up no matter what color they were. You
Yeah.
know, we would get a lot of stuff from Detroit, just randomly between Detroit and New York. So yeah, the top 10s is crazy.
Yeah.
Um,
And they rock them crazy down here. Like every colorway you can think of, I've probably seen on somebody's foot. It's still the Detroit kick.
Two more questions. Um, what's the shoe that you need to undead stock?
Actually, I've been sitting on. I bought the Ambush Converse duck boots. I've been sitting on. It's actually a mix between these and maybe some Jordan ones. Even though I think it's these. And I wanted a challenge. So I wanted to challenge. They were an easy cop. So I grabbed these. And they have been sitting in a box ever since because I have absolutely no idea what I'm about to wear with them. Which is probably another reason they probably sat. But I definitely would love to. I actually, can I reach down here? Let's see. I got these are like literally. Actually, no. I really want to. I'll grab them. It's some ice cream. The ice cream question collab that happened. I took them out of here, so they are up here. All right, so these, I really, really want to find something to put with these. I just also have. Oh, maybe I do have an idea now. I just thrifted a yellow shirt that's very similar to this yellow. Never mind. But I definitely want to I definitely want to undead stock these sometime soon. They've kind of just been sitting here. I got the question threes. Oh, and then these I really would like to. I actually might put them back in the box and just let them sit there because I have a feeling I'm not going to wear them anytime soon. I'm not sure why, but the quality on these, especially as far as Jordan 1s and things are concerned lately, was like absolutely phenomenal. I always love when they do like the tumbled leather for the tongue and some parts of the siding. And it was really good. But they've been just sitting. Honestly, most things I've been kind of for sometimes I find myself in the same rotation of like maybe like 10 pairs and I just don't go anywhere else unless it's like, oh, it's an event and I need to like put on like an outfit or something. Um, like the AJ3s, the Almas, that dropped the AMMs that dropped earlier. Those were a great grab. But I'm only wearing those at like particular times. So most of the time I kind of just go in between like a pair of Dunks. I got some beater, some Jordan 1s. I got paint splatter and stuff on them. Uh, so I kind of go in between these sometimes. These are actually some of my favorite, just like throw on kick, like for anything, like if I'm running an errand or something. But I got like paint splatter and stuff on them. So now it's turned into like my painting kick. But yeah, I'll be kind of just all over the place.
Yeah, got you. Kind of reminds me of when I was in Cleveland. Still, I had about 15 pairs that I used to only wear in bad weather. Uh,
Mm,
like I have two pairs of Royal Ones, so I have a pair that I have SB laces and an SB insole in
okay.
uh, that are. I'm not gonna say they're beat, but they have a lot of character. And then I have the pair that I actually bought um, on release day with the box, and since I've barely worn them, they're covered in glitter because I always wear the worn pair.
Mm,
But since I have all of these snow sneakers, like the Cement Forest from 2012 with the Jumpman on the back with the yellowing, like shit like that, I'll just wear in the snow. My 1%
yeah,
Reds. But now that I'm down here and it doesn't really snow, I don't really know what to do with those sneakers. You know what I
yeah,
mean? I mean, last winter it only snowed twice and the snow was gone by lunchtime, so it
yeah,
was different. So I kind of miss the bad weather, as crazy as it sounds. I kind of miss the snow and some of that a little bit. So
yeah. I feel you. I definitely my go to for bad weather is the wool Jordan 12s.
mm,
And mine are like falling apart too. They're somewhere around here. They might actually be in a container downstairs actually. But yeah, like they're wool. And so when else would I wear them? It's literally like in the winter and stuff. And they're black and stuff. So it literally is like the perfect like throw on Jordan to kick the kind of trudge through the snow here with. It hasn't been too bad as of late, the past couple of years. But definitely when I first got here, we were getting snow left and right. So having some type of kick like that. I got a couple of like the Nike duck boots too. The Air Force duck boots that they did. I got a couple of pairs of those too. Um, and a couple of pairs of like polo boots and stuff that I got like back in the day when polo boots was like the shit. I definitely like to go back to those. I don't wear my Tims as much. But yeah, definitely stay in the try to get like some beater kicks for like the bad weather.
another shoe that you really perform well. I haven't worn the retros, but I used to wear the OGs when they were still intact. Were the Oreo fours? You could wear those in any kind of weather.
Yeah, yeah,
More better the more you wear them because they look fake
yeah.
all creases. So you know.
I
But
agree.
what's a shoe that you just don't fuck with that everybody around you loves? Or is there? There may not be one.
No, there definitely is. I just have a balance is right in front of me. Um, that I don't fuck with that everybody loves. At one point, it was Yeezys. At one point, but then I grew to love them. I'm trying to think. I mean, it wouldn't be anything I have here. Um, I don't care. Some of the collabs I feel like are overhyped. Like some of the collabs, like I'm not really too pressed for like the Travis Scott ones that dropped. Um, I feel like a lot of the collabs actually now that I think about it are just pretty much overhyped and it just kind of is like okay, like it's a cool kick and stuff, but we all know like it's selling out and stuff because of that and not because of like people actually want them or it's worth it. But I can't think of anything like off the top of my head where I'm like, I try not to be a hater of like other people and what they decide to pick and wear, because that's their decision, and I didn't have to buy it. Um, but yeah, I can't think of, what do you have?
Feel a Disruptor, the Yeezy 380. Um, Probably those two. The Feel a Disruptor. Those were really big in Cleveland before I came down here, and
Mm.
the guys and the Yeezy
Is
3.
that the bulky? Is that the Is that the bulky? I mean, I just don't like. I don't like chunky like heels or anything like that when it comes to like kicks. So like the big tall Converses that are coming out with like the wavy heel and stuff. I mean, not my cup of tea, but like I know a lot of people who are getting into sneakers that enjoy them.
Yeah.
But not necessarily my cup of tea. Yeah, the Fila doesn't like. I have a couple. I have like some Grant Hill Filas and stuff, but like Filas usually doesn't do it for me. And that definitely, that disruptor is it's I guess it's disrupting. Um,
Oh man. Well, let me ask you. What do you see? Where do you see your collection going in the future?
I don't. I would definitely like to get, like I said, more diverse. I think part of that though is I would need to probably stop buying Nikes. Like that would really be like I would really need to like I would have to make an effort just because like I mean, Nike just kind of like the colorways they come out with, the kicks they come out with, the history that's there and stuff. It makes it difficult to really like fall in love with other kicks and really want to go and like collect them. Like I just started getting more into buying Vans. I'm back more into buying Vans. I bought a lot of Vans when I was in college, but I'm just now getting back more into buying Vans. So maybe I'm hoping to get more into that. Definitely to add some more New Balances to my collection. And honestly, I think now I'm at a point where unless a kid coming out is like, wow, like I really want this, I gotta have it. Like unless it's like that, and unless it's like an OG pair, I'm trying to really like start going through like the eBays and stuff like that. Maybe you need to teach a class, to go and back and get those things that I wanted and just didn't get in the past like 4 or 5 years. To try to get a couple of those things that are like, gently used or things like that. I don't know. I feel with what's coming out in the future, I feel less inclined to purchase it, and I feel more inclined to like kind of reach back and grab those things that I wanted and just didn't get or couldn't get. That's kind of where I feel like my collection is going to probably take a turn. Like, all right, let's go back and really like either buy less shoes, but probably spend a little bit more money to get those things that I really really do want in my collection.
Sure. Give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Alexa, turn on the garage lights. Um, I'm the same. I mean, I'm all about the reach backs.
Yeah.
That's everything. Are there any new releases that are on your radar next? Are you gonna try for the South Beaches, or do you care?
I am going to try for the South Beaches. I had the original pair, and I let my middle sister have them afterwards, and then like she destroyed them, and I was upset. So I'm definitely gonna try for those. I'm waiting for this Yeezy restock. Wave Runner is supposed to redrop. Zebras are supposed to redrop in August, so I'm happy about that. Other than that, I'm not super excited about this off-white dunk collab that's about to drop. It seems very redundant and very like lazy-ish. So I'm not super excited about that. Um, yeah, I'm kind of not over Jordan ones. It's just not any colorways that are coming out. I'm definitely ready for the cool grays to come to drop at the end of the year. Like I have to have those. Those are definitely gonna be a must have. I see those dates. I'm gonna pay attention to that. But yeah, like other than that, not really. Like that's really what's got me into like, all right, let me like start reaching back now, just because anything up front, like coming up, is just not. I'm not like, yay, like I really, really gotta have that kick. At least not what I've seen from the release calendar so far.
I mean, for me, I still feel like there's a lot of regular Nike shoes that we don't know about yet on the retro side. I'm hoping they bring back more Air Max 96s, hopefully the first version.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The tracks. Yep.
Those have been kind of my sneaker of the year for me, just because they never retroed it before, and I had them when I was in high school. But I'm definitely looking for the Lightning 4 because I never had those back in '06. The Midnight 6, just because my pair is in pieces in the garage, crumpled. And the Cool Gray 11s, these are all like replacements because I didn't get the 2010 Cool Gray 11. I have the
Yeah.
2000. The bottom is like orange. So it's time. I'd like to get all of those, but I've already emotionally detached myself from all of that stuff, as well as tomorrow's release, just in case I don't get them. And then I'll probably do, like you said, and do some revenge cops of, whatever. So,
Yeah.
but before we go, do you have any questions for me? More questions?
Let's see. What? Wait. What was your hardest sneaker to buy, but that you actually did get? Like, what sneaker did you put in the most work for?
Um, Probably the What the Kobe Eights, just
Okay.
because. All right, the store I was working at, we had them, but I had to fight with my boss and the owner all day to get them because if thing, um, employees, even managers like me, like we just couldn't get them. They wanted everybody to in the line to get them, but I'm like, look, man, like I need these Kobe's. Like it's a lot of stuff I haven't gotten this year. This was
Mm-hmm.
2000. I couldn't get any of the LeBron EXTs, the LeBron 10s. I couldn't get the White Shacks with the pump. I couldn't get the majority of the Fear Pack. I'm like, I need these. I've taken
Yeah.
enough releases on the chin. Some stuff I've been able to go back and get, after the fact. But I'm like, I need these. You know how I feel about the Lakers and Kobe. So I literally didn't get my pair until 8 o'clock that night, right before we closed. Because I know I'm not a reseller. They thought I was just going to sell them, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I need these shoes.
Yeah.
And the owner asked me in 2017 if I still had them, and I sent him a picture of them. Just on some random shit, like because
Yeah.
connections with I guess the culture and being known in Cleveland as a sneaker guy, they really thought I was just a reseller. So
Yeah.
bothered me. So I had to really, not necessarily beg, but really state my case, almost like a dissertation of why I needed this shoe. So
Dang.
that was probably the hardest work I had to put in for a shoe and the emotion that came with it.
That's real. Yeah. I mean, that's especially now too. Like that'd be damn near impossible.
What is it? How do you feel now knowing the owner of Next, the exhibition? That's the store that I worked at.
Yeah.
Let's thing they cleaned out off white UNC too. Well, Hunter, to answer your question, it's my guy Hunter. I had a guy who worked in our warehouse who kind of let me know what it was, and it was already what I had expected. Where a lot of their stock is staggered because they backdoor the stuff. So, like for instance, when the Travis Scott ones came out, they allegedly got 330 pairs of them, but only maybe 50 pairs made it to Cleveland spots. You know what I mean? So, what happened to them other pairs? They either still got them and they're waiting on the prices to go up, or they're already gone. So,
Yeah.
I don't really feel any kind of way about it because I don't work there anymore. But I feel like for a lot of boutiques, probably how they stay in business. Because Cleveland is not a fashion place. It doesn't have the size of a Detroit or a Chicago. So that's probably what they have to do to make it because they're the only Tier Zero Nike account in Cleveland. So it's unfortunate they have to do those things. But for me, since I was a sneaker guy, I used to feel like they used to do things personal just so I couldn't get them. Hopefully that answers your question. But yeah, do you have anything else for me?
No, that's all, man. This was so awesome. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm gonna continue, of course, to pay attention to your collection. like I said, I love the daily picks. I love when you guys are traveling and you decide to do the matchups and stuff like that. Maybe I'll try to see if I can get him in a couple of. I can't get my husband to even get into Jordans. Like I was like, look, I'll just buy you a pair, and he's just like, no, like I'm just not like just rebellious. That would be him. Like he'd be like, the number one shoe that everybody loves that I can't stand. It's just any Jordan, just about like the audacity. But no, I just appreciate you so much for doing this and always having these sneaker conversations and reaching out in the community. And yeah, just have a great rest of your night, man. I appreciate you so much.
You too. Thank you. Artists went over than I planned, but I'll
Oh yeah, most definitely, man. All right. Bye.